All right, Shalom. I want to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory to you. How about Shemi Shaba, Shimmer Kakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to all the Akim pushing word of sincerity and in truth. This is Brother Barzal from Great Millstone, Atlanta. Going into basically the Passover is right around the corner. Basically, clean up. This is the season of spring cleaning. Because the Passover is an indication of the new year, which is the 14th day of the new year, and that's where you get that term spring cleaning. All right, this is the time where seasonally, individuals that's in the hip and the know, they'll clean up thoroughly around this time of year. They'll purge their household. They'll vacuum thoroughly. Clean anything that has to be thoroughly and properly fixed and thoroughly clean in the household. From the couches to underneath the couch to underneath the bed to like I said, the carpet to glass, the toilets, what have you, anything that needs some form of maintenance. This is the time where a lot of individuals will jump on top of it. Hence the term spring cleaning, which this is truly biblical. And this is the time where we have to clean ourselves thoroughly in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah. Because if you don't, maintain yourself, if you don't keep yourself, at your peak, if you let the spirit of demons and evil spirits actually house themselves within you, the Lord will either remove that spirit through you from you actually taking action and purging these demons out from fasting, praying, studying, abstaining. Disciplining yourselves, or he'll totally remove you from the body. I have these images, right here, which these are all indications of spring cleaning. You have the spray bottles, you have the mop, you have the scrub, you have the broom, dustpan, all these different things, and you always think about this as an effeminate, style of cleaning, tidying up. But this is important, man. This is something that's the Lord takes very, very serious, and we have to take serious in these times too, because this is the time where the 10 plagues was taking place. All right, where we were in Egypt, and you had Jakes that were basically in fear, seeing all the hell that was caught upon the Egyptians. From the the death of the firstborn, which that was the last plague, to the frogs springing up, to the locusts, so on and so forth. All these different things sparked fear, and it made Jake actually get themselves together and fall in line. So this is the same times that we're living in too. And I want to go into this definition of spring cleaning on Wikipedia. It says spring cleaning is the practice of thoroughly cleaning a house in the springtime. The practice of spring cleaning is especially prevalent in climates with a cold winter. In many cultures, annual cleaning occurs at the end of the year, which may be in spring or winter, depending on the calendar. And I want to go into the origins of spring cleaning because its origins really go back to the scriptures. It says some researchers trace the origins of spring cleaning to the Iranian Nowruz, the Persian New Year, which falls on the first day of spring. Iranians continue the practice of kuneh tikuna, literally shaking the house. Just before the Persian New Year, everything in the house is thoroughly cleaned, from the drapes to the furniture. Right, and the Most High is shaking the house of Israel right now. It says that the Lord is going to sift Israel as corn is sifted from a sieve. When you sift corn from a sieve, you have to shake the corn and constantly rattle it in order to remove the corn from the sieve. And that's the same thing. The Lord is doing the same thing with the house of Israel, and he's shaking Jacob to remove the dross from the righteous. All right, from the proper and the valuable gold, so to speak. And like it says right here, that's very, very important in Persian times, which the Persians they got that style of practice from the scriptures. And I'm gonna read it on the next paragraph. Excuse me. It says another possibility has been suggested that the origins of spring cleaning date back to the ancient Jewish practice of thoroughly cleaning the home in anticipation of the springtime festival of Passover, Pesach, in remembrance of the Israelites' hasty flight from Egypt following their captivity there. During the week-long observance of the Passover holiday, there are strict prohibitions against eating or drinking anything which may have been leavened or fermented with yeast. Exodus 12 and 15 to 19. Jews are not only supposed to refrain from leavened foods, stuffs, they're expressly commanded to rid their homes or of even small remnants of chametz for the length of the holiday. Therefore, observant Jews conduct a thorough spring cleaning of the house, followed by a traditional hunt for chametz crumbs by candlelight on the evening before the holiday begins. Right, and that's definitely true. You have to clean your household thoroughly for leaven sediments to make sure that your house is thoroughly clean. And our spiritual house is the most important house to clean during this time of year. And Paul said it best, which I'm gonna get that scripture in Corinthians. This is 1 Corinthians 5 and 7. It says, "Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Yahweh our Passover is sacrificed unto us." Right, and that word purge goes into thoroughly cleaning. And what is the old leaven in your body? Pride, wickedness, the fruits that corrupt the spirit. That's what Paul's saying to abstain from. Basically, just like it tells you in Galatians, to mortify your members that are on earth. And it never fails during this time of year. Certain spirits end up bucking up against the order of things. Demons start to jump on certain men. Certain men get revealed through the spirit of being evil, and they end up getting purged out or kicked out or whatever situation may occur and arise. And that's why this time of year is really the most fearful time of year. This is the time where you're supposed to be fasting. You're supposed to be praying more, asking the Lord for mercy and guidance, and asking the Lord to actually purge out that leaven that may house itself within yourself. And that's why you're supposed to be constantly examining yourself on a day-to-day and doing that which is required so that you don't get purged out, because it is leaven, just like during the time of the Exodus. You had jakes that were being purged out from amongst the body. You had the rebels. You had the ones that didn't want to actually follow command, and they wanted to etch their own path within the flock of Israel. And what did the Lord do? The Lord got rid of them. Kor, Dathan, and Abiram. Those are three individuals that are written of in the scriptures that are prime examples of guys that rebelled. Guys that didn't want to listen to the order, guys that wanted to follow their own path. They bucked up against the rulership, the king at that time, which the king was Moses. And it's the same thing that's going on now. That's why we have to humble ourselves at this time, If a brother's getting on you, if a brother's cussing you out, because a lot of rebukes come around this time of year. And if you don't want to hear it, then that shows that you still have leaven within you that you're not willing to yank out. So what is the Lord going to do? The Lord is going to yank you out. All right, Luke 3 and 16. John answered and said unto them all, I indeed baptize you with water, but one mightier than I cometh, the latchet of whose shoes I am not worthy to loose. He shall baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire, whose fan is in his hand, and he will thoroughly purge his floor. And what's that floor that the Lord is purging? And that fan that he's actually using to remove, it's talking about Israel. Because just like I was speaking about, those are items that you would use to clean a household, just like a fan, so to speak, which you use a fan or a broom, or certain agents to get dust and get certain properties that might be stuck in the crooks and crevices in the household. So you use those to get it to yank it out of the house, so that the house will be properly and thoroughly cleansed. And says, and will gather the wheat into his garner, but the chaff he will burn with fire unquenchable. So that chaff is talking about the missiles, and that chaff, that heat is starting now, man. That's why the heat is turning up within the camps, and certain men, they can't abide the temperature because they were stuck on a certain gear. They didn't believe that this thing was gonna turn up to the next level. They didn't prepare themselves, and they got settled on the lease. And that's why the Lord said what? He's gonna search Jerusalem with candles to make sure that what? You're in the right spirit, that you're actually following direction, you're taking order, you're looking to do that which is required of Yahweh Shema Shah, so you could be sealed and become one of the elect. All right, 2 Timothy 2:21. If a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor, sacrifice, and meet for the master's use, and prepare unto every good work. And matter of fact, I'm gonna go to verse 20 to go into what Paul is actually speaking about. Man should purge himself from. But it says, verse 20. But in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also of wood and of earth, and of some to honor and some to dishonor. So you have men in this truth that are gold, silver, some wood, and some are earth. Some are honorable and some are dishonorable. And it's all about your works. Your works show what type of manner of man you are, how much you're trying to invest within the Lord's house, the Lord's table. How much you're trying to prepare for the elect shows you your value. It shows you how much you desire to get up out of this kingdom. It shows you how much your passion is. And some men, they actually get settled here. They don't really have a true passion for the truth. And that's why the Lord said that he's going to purge this house, and this house is still being purged every year, every day, month by month. It's conflicts and situations that's going on in Israel, and it's showing that the Lord is actually shaking and rattling the house, just like I read earlier. It says, if a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor. Right. And if you're a brother that may have dishonorable properties and characteristics, your job and your main obligation is to purge yourself. And if you're a brother that sees and recognizes a brother that actually has certain things that he has to work on, you have to help him purge. All right. That's why the scriptures tells you in Jude to rescue certain men out of the fire, because certain men, they'll walk down the road in a path that's not feasible and wise. And that's why you have, a brotherhood, brothers that are designed to be around you, to correct you, and to keep you on that straight and thorough. All right. Or the straight and narrow. Excuse me. So it says sanctify and meet, which the word meet goes into good for the master's use, and prepare unto every good work. So that's what it's about. This is the time to keep ourselves holy within the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah. Keep ourselves clean, purge ourselves, and wash ourselves through the washing of the water of this word. So I want anybody giving all praise